Can I write cosine squared of alpha another way? 1 minus sine squared of alpha, right? Cosine squared of alpha would be 1 minus sine squared of alpha minus sine squared of alpha. So 1 minus 2 sine squared of alpha is another version of the double angle formula for cosine. Does that make sense? It's the same formula, right? We just replaced cosine squared of alpha with 1 minus sine squared of alpha. Why couldn't we do the same thing and replace sine squared of alpha? Could we do that? Do cosine squared of alpha minus, how can we write sine squared of alpha?
1 minus squared alpha.
1 minus cosine squared of alpha, which would be cosine squared of alpha minus 1 plus cosine squared of alpha, which would give us 2 cosine squared of alpha minus 1, which is the third and final way to write the double angle formula for cosine. No, isn't that cool? 3 different ways to write the same thing. Now whatever we need, we've got. If you remember it. Yep. In our office right now, it's got to be like 65 degrees. Which, considering most places in the school, it's probably between 75 and 80, I would expect. Oh, let's knock everything over. It's nice in here, but in our office, honestly, I can't tell you how cold it is. All right, then we can do tangent. I did tangent over here and I left it up, so you can walk your way through tangent. Tangent of alpha plus alpha is tangent of alpha plus tangent of alpha, which gives us 2 tangent of alpha, over 1 minus tangent of alpha, tangent of alpha. Tangent of alpha times tangent of alpha is tangent squared of alpha. There is our formula for tangent of 2 alpha. So we now have 5 double angle formulas. 1 for sine, 1 for tangent, and 3 for cosine. 3. Isn't that awesome?
No.
Love it. But what if each formula can really be helpful? If cosine of x, let's call it cosine of x, is equal to negative 5/13, and sine of x is less than 0, find tangent of 2x. Okie dokie? No? Nokie dokie? Okie dokie. Thoughts? What's the first thing we should do?
Draw a triangle.
Okay, which formula should we use? That one. That's helpful. Tangent. Tangent of what? 2x. Tangent of 2x or tangent of 2 alpha. It's the double angle formula. They actually told us what to look for. So what is our formula? Tan of 2x equals 2 tan of x over 1 minus tangent squared of x. Good, so we got the formula. What's the problem? We don't know tangent. Can we find tangent?
Yes.
How?
Draw a triangle.
Draw a triangle. we're going to be drawing lots of triangles. It is a shame that you guys don't know how to use triangles for sine and cosine and tangent. Oh, wait, you do. Oh, then that should make it easy. Here's our triangle. Here's our x. Cosine of x is negative 5/13, so therefore, what's 5? Down here? 13 is where? Hypotenuse. Which makes that guy a Pythagorean triple, and that is 12. 5, 12, 13. That's a 5, 12, 13. You'll learn that. 5, 12, 13. Books like to use 5, 12, 13 because it's a little more difficult than 3, 4, 5. You guys all know 3, 4, 5. So they go, ooh, we'll trick you and we'll put like 5 and 13. But you'll learn 5, 12, 13 pretty quickly. And then after that, after they know 5, 12, 13, then they start working with 7, 24, 25. That's the next one that they go to.
Wait, is there
What comes
an
next?
8, 7, 15 one?
Oh, 8, 15, 19? 7, 15? 15, 17. 8, 15, 17. Forgot about 8, 15, 17.
I was close.
5, 9, 4, yeah. 8, 15, 17. I forget that one. This one's easy. That one's easy. All right, go. 2 times 12 over 5. Over 1 minus 12 over 5 squared. Is that correct so far?
No.
By me asking that question,
No, it's not.
what do I want you to do?
Because sine is less than 0.
I want you to think about
Wait, was it
why.
cosine
What do I want you to think about?
Cosine's negative.
Whether it's positive or negative. How would we decide that?
Sine is less than 0.
How would we decide that?
Looking at
I still haven't heard the word I want. How would we decide that? Quadrant. How do we always decide positive or negative? Quadrant. Okay, but we got to figure out what quadrant we're in. How do we decide that? Quadrant 2?
Or
Could it be quadrant 1? No. Could it be quadrant 2? Maybe. Could it be quadrant 3? No. Could it be quadrant 4?
it could be quadrant 2 or 3.
Okay, I'm really confused now.
Because the cosine is negative.
Okay, then you guys better talk this out and come up with it.
Okay, it could be either
So I'm confused.
if sine is less than 0, that means it's quadrant 3.
But sine is less than
It's quadrant.
It's quadrant 3.
Okay, how about this? Instead of everybody arguing,
Here.
no, I have nothing to do with it. Instead of everybody arguing, why don't you discuss?
Alright,
Instead of trying to yell at everybody and tell them that you're wrong.
here's the false notion. Alright, so cosine is negative, so that means it's either quadrant 2 or 3. And then if sine is less than 0, that means sine is negative. Alright? So if sine is negative, all students take a crack. So that means it's in quadrant 3. So cosine and sine are both negative, that means the quadrant is quadrant 3.
It's here. It's not.
Are we good? Does anyone have any objections? Alright, I think we
Okay, what quadrant is X?
3.
Still heard somebody say 2.
But all students. Yes, so sine would be positive. Yeah, sine says it's less than 0 right there.
That's okay, we got it. Right? You okay now? That's all I care about. Quadrant 3? We good?
Yep.
All right, so back to the question at hand. Should these 12/5 be positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive, because in quadrant 3, tangent's positive. Okay, cool, keep going. 24,
Why is it over 5?
huh? SOHCAHTOA,
Oh, yeah.
24
Over 5.
over 5 over 1 minus
144 over 25.
issues there. Okay, what's next?
Simplify.
And it's very interesting because before yesterday, everybody would have done this problem the same way. After yesterday, we have a split. In fact, most people are doing it one way, which was not the way we would have done it before yesterday. What do I mean? What are people saying that we could do here? Multiply by,
25.
not the conjugate,
Oh, 5.
by the LCD, which is
25. 25.
okay, we'll try that one again. Multiply by the LCD, which is 25. Okay. Before yesterday, I'm not sure we would have done that. Before yesterday, we would have, what'd you guys say first? Simplify the bottom. Right? You would have done 1 minus 144 over 25. You wouldn't have liked it, but that's what you would have done. Either way is totally fine. Either way is totally fine. So if you want to multiply the 25, 25 times 25 times 25, then what? Then what? Cancel. Why did we multiply by 25? So that we can cancel. So we should probably do that then. 25 takes out the 25. The 5 goes into the 25 5 times. Which therefore gives us 24 times 5, which is 120 over 25 minus 144, which gives us 120 over negative 119. We're going to get some weird big number answers. Okay? Questions there? All right, the next question that I'm going to do is going to be in that same spot so that I can leave formulas up here. So I'm going to erase blue as soon as I can. So anybody still need it? I'll wait as long as you need. Nobody needs it? Hey, it's going. Bye. Huh? Next question. Sine of 15 degrees times the cosine of 15 degrees. Think about it.
Each. And then multiply by
Wouldn't that be,
You can do each one and then
The instructions on the problem say simplify each expression. Evaluate the resulting expression exactly if possible.
So you do like
each
sine of 60 minus
45.
minus 45 times cosine of 60 minus 45.
that's
I actually agree with you. What have we just been going over and learning? Those formulas, the double angle formulas. Do you see something that looks like that? Do you see something that looks in the ballpark of looking like that? The first one that says the sine of 2 alpha equals 2 sine of alpha cosine of alpha. In every class today, the first thought was sine of 15 degrees is sine of 45 minus 30, or sine of 60 minus 45. So we'll do both of those, and then we'll multiply them together, which may actually work. I don't know. That is way too much. Wait till you see what happens with this problem. Is this what we have?
Yes,
Kind of. What do you mean?
It locks it
plus 5 times 2.
We have a 2 issue.
So what if we find the answer that?
Can we
Just divide by 2.
get rid of the 2?
Yes. Well,
No. No, I understand where you're coming from, but we got to be careful. I'm going to explain that. Divide by 2. Okay? Now, we divide by 2, right? Which on the right side turns into what?
Over the left.
No, the right side. Sine of alpha, cosine of alpha. Is that what we want?
Yeah.
That is exactly what we want. Be very, very careful on the left side. Okay?
We can't cancel that out.
That 2 is not at all like that 2. This is part of an angle. Okay? This is a number 2. So you cannot cancel those. What is dividing by 2 the same thing as doing? Multiplying by 1/2. So let's instead write this as 1/2 times 2 alpha. Is that okay? Life is good now. Here's why. The original problem up at the very top said sine of 15 degrees, cosine of 15 degrees. See where we're going with this now? When you write it down like this, it gets a lot easier. So what does the left-hand side become? 1/2
Sine of 30.
sine of 2 times 15 degrees, which therefore means 1/2 times the sine of 30 degrees, which therefore means, because I know the sine of 30 degrees, I know the chart. 1/2 times 1/2, which is, and there's our answer. No, I mean, well, think about it this way. In your calculator, if you want, fire in sine of 15 degrees, cosine of 15 degrees. Make sure you're in degrees mode, not radical mode, or not radian mode.
Radical mode.
Don't want to be in radical mode.
Really cool, dude.
Ever. What'd you get? 0.25, which is the same thing as 1/4. Sophia, you almost done? Okay. It's been a long time. I know, it's a homework check. Come on, we need you back here. All right, questions? We good? I'm erasing. Yeah. Anybody still need it? I can wait. No? We be done?
What's today? 16th?
Cosine squared of x plus 2 minus sine squared of x plus 2.
It looks like, that second one. Yeah.
I don't know.
Just a tiny bit.
Does that look like anything?
The second formula.
So it looks like a formula for the cosine of 2 alpha. Cosine of 2 alpha. But what is alpha? Alpha would be x plus 2. Yes? Yes? Which therefore means it's the cosine of 2 times x plus 2, which therefore means it's the cosine of 2x plus 4. Can we simplify that? No, so we'd be done. We'd be done. I guess in a way we could conceivably use the cosine addition formula, but
I'd rather.
well, we don't know if it's in degrees or radians or anything like that. You just throw it in that basket if you would.
No, I don't.
No. No. There you go. Thank you. So we're done, because this is still in that same area that says simplify and then evaluate the resulting expression exactly if possible. Guess what? It's not possible. So, questions there? Move on. Anybody still need it? What are you thinking so far? It's okay? It's a lot of formulas. But for tonight, when you do your homework and you have those formulas in front of you, hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. Okay? How about this one? What color should I use? Okay. Wait, what do we have here? Is it an identity?
Yes.
If so, what are we supposed to do with it? What do you think?
Verify.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to have to do it whether he said it or not, so don't yell at his name. No, there you are. All right, so we are going to verify an identity. How do we do that again? Do you remember this at all?
Yeah, take one side and take the other.
We're going to take one side and work it until it becomes the other side. Which side do you think we're going to work on? The left. 99%, not 99%. The vast, vast majority of the time, we're going to work on the left side. Here we go. With us. Cool, go. Square, double square. What do we got? Sine squared of x.
Plus 2 sine of x cosine.
Plus 2 sine of x cosine of x.
Plus cosine squared of x.
Plus cosine squared of x. We are on a roll. That's a good point.
You're right, Jake. Good job.
Jake is saying that if we move these around a little bit, this might help us. Right? If we just flip these around and now we have sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x. And what is sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x? 1. So this gives us 1 plus 2 sine of x cosine of x. So we're rolling so far.
The right side is that equal.
This is that formula. Right? So having those formulas, looking at them, comparing things, hopefully will help you. 2 sine of x cosine of x is the sine of 2x. All right, let's see. Where do we have to go from? That's it. Verified. Man. Done. D-U-N. Questions there?
Think like that.
Another one or be done?
Another one.
Another one? Okay. You guys getting one more problem than anybody else got today. Yes, ma'am. From here to here? Okay. We looked and we saw that this is that. And so 2 sine of alpha cosine of alpha is sine of 2 alpha. So we just took that and put it in instead of that. Yes? Cool. Let's do that one. All right. Anything else on green? No. Okay, phones Phones going away would be a good thing. Phones coming out in the first place is probably a bad thing. Cosine. Sure, phone it. Let's do that. Sine squared of x equals 1 minus cosine of 2x over 2. Talk to me. We are verifying. I would work the right side on this one. Yeah, yeah. Well, you guys are 1%ers, so you are in the top 1%. So.
Could you change the cosine 2x
Into an identity, yeah.
That is exactly what I would do.
You do the second one, right?
Why would you do the second one?
Because that involves sine squared of x. And no more cosines.
Okay, so Matt's saying to pick which version of the cosine of 2x to use. Let's take a brief look at where we're trying to go. Does that make sense? Since we're trying to go to sine squared of x, then why don't we use the one that has only sine squared of x? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Don't do this one, because this has sine squared, but it also has cosine squared, and that's going to be a pain. Definitely don't do that one. Well, because I want to get there. Now, again, the reality is that no matter which one we use, we can get there. It's just number of steps. For me, since I am lazy, I want to pick the shortest number of steps that I can. So, yes, I agree. I would do the second version of it. So that gives us 1 minus. Now, the cosine of 2x, I want to make sure I put in parentheses, correct? And that gives us 1 minus 2 sine squared of x over 2. Distribute the negative, I am hearing. 1 minus 1 plus 2 sine squared of x over 2. 1 minus 1 is 6. Not really. 2 sine squared of x over 2.
Equals sine squared of x.
Oh, no, I just said
And there it is. What you think? It's not that bad. Now, the reality with these is, and we've talked about this already, the more you do, the better you'll get. So keep doing these. Keep trying them. If and when you make a mistake, try something else. Don't give up. Persevere. All right. Questions on anything? I believe I've done.